Hello and welcome back to Cycles. We'll be continuing where we left off, which if you recall is after Tanner and Leo had a little discussion about Tanner going to Echo, and Leo saying that it's basically a very bad idea, and basically Tanner being very dismissive about the whole, everything that went down in the town, and not really seeing why somebody that used to live there is perhaps very apprehensive about letting somebody go there. Yeah. So, as we are reintroduced to Leo, we find that he is still going through some stuff. And if I am able to pinpoint which route this route might be taking over through from where, I think it's actually Leo's route. You'll find out why later, but if that is the case, that means that this is a Leo that was sort of left with sort of unresolved relationship trauma, and just in general, not in a very good state of mind. He more or less accepted that Chase no longer loved him, and that the whole situation that was going on in his head and the whole Tulpa Chase thing also was probably all in his head, but at the same time it left him very screwed up. So yeah. So that is the sort of Leo that we're dealing with. As for Tanner, it also seems that he is a little bit screwed up in the head about something that happened in his past. So that's probably gonna, like I said before, gonna come into play. But yeah. Anywho, so yeah, without further ado, let us begin Chapter 2 of Cycles. Chapter 2. The Alvarez repair shop was a sprawling single-story building with a faded red brick exterior. Leo, with the mischievous grin, locked the heavy metal door behind them with a satisfying clang. The interior of the shop was dimly lit, but it was clean and well-maintained. Tools and equipment were neatly organized on shelves and in drawers, and there were a few vintage car posters hanging on the walls. Leo led the way to the back of the shop, where his garage was located. So, you're the only one who works here? Nah, usually Paul lends a hand. The dude's on vacation, so yeah, it's just us, he said, yanking out the battery. It looked like it got all wrecked, all melted and leaking nasty stuff. Bad news, gotta order a new one. Might take a few days, or maybe just a day or two. It depends, he explained. He tossed the battery aside and began removing his gloves, looking at me. Cool. You seem pretty chill about this, considering you're basically paying to fix your friend's busted car. Hey, freaking out about it won't fix it, right? You're one weird dude, Tanner, says the strange wolf, Leo. He smirked and walked over to a mini fridge tucked away in the corner, grabbed a beer and opened it. You drink? Hell yeah, I do. Besides, it's been hot as balls in here for hours. I joke. He nodded and tossed a can my way, which I caught. True, usually I work with no shirt on, but hey, I'm not alone here, am I? Hey, I've seen my fair share of shirtless guys, Leo. Seen plenty even, kissed a few. I joked back, trying to keep things light. His red eyes locked onto me, a strange glint in them. He opened his mouth to speak, but then just kept smirking. So, if that shirt's bothering you? I said, nodding at the fan barely moving side to side. Be my guest, and take it off. That thing ain't exactly an air conditioner, especially with your gates closed. I added, trying to break the tension. He met my gaze for a moment, then slowly started pulling off his dirty shirt, tossing it aside. It was hard not to stare. The dude had a serious built chest and a bit of a gut. Damn him. Looking good, right? Yeah, actually. That shirt was getting sweaty anyway. I mumbled, trying to look anywhere but at him. He went back to working on the car but kept stealing glances my way. So, when did the whole liking guys thing start? Like 19, I guess? I admitted, feeling a little exposed. He yanked out some burned wires and tossed them on the floor. Really? Yeah. I mumbled, hoping to shut down the topic. This conversation was getting awkward fast, and he could tell. Something bugging you? Nah, all good. I lied. This wasn't a conversation that I was a fan of. Not because I was gay. I'd always been into dudes, but because of the stuff that happened before. Yeah, I get it. Don't worry. I won't bother you about it. He said, picking up on my discomfort. He sighed and went back to working on the car. I finished my beer. Man, that hit the spot at this damn heat. So, what exactly brings you here anyway? I told you already, right? I said, trying to act casual. He slammed the hood shut and wiped his greasy hands. Yeah, echo. But feels like there's more to it, you know? Wish there was, but honestly no. You're asking a lot of questions, aren't you? I said, feeling a little defensive. He plopped down next to me, making the table wobble. Sorry, just trying to figure it out. This whole ego trip is still stupid in my opinion. Yeah, maybe it is. Speaking of questions, that bracelet. His face changed, and he squeezed his eyes shut for a second. Yours? I asked, seeing his reaction. He didn't answer right away, leaving me hanging. After a beat, still nothing. Forget I even asked. Yeah, it's fine. He finally admitted, catching me off guard. My ears perked up and I spun around to face him. Bought it ages ago, but it wasn't the only one. My ex had the other. What happened to him? I asked, realizing the weight of the question. I sat back down on the table next to him. Tanner, I don't know. I don't like talking about it either. I see. I know what it's like, losing someone. Oh? Yeah. I mean, I still have something from my ex, too. I laughed with a sad smile forming on my face. Looking back at it now, this felt silly. It made me wonder why I was talking about her at all. She was nice, but like you said, I don't like talking about it either. He placed his hand on my shoulder for a moment, smiling down at me. How about another beer, eh? He asked, and I nodded. After that, he just went back to work on the car. We just met each other, and besides, I'm not sure how I feel about telling him that story. Maybe some other time, but right now. This is nice. He gave me another beer and continued on the car. How long have you been working here? A few years now. I'm pretty much a professional at this point. Pa taught me everything that I know. That's good. Looks like you enjoyed working as a mechanic. Looking good at it too. Oh yeah? His red muzzle poked from underneath the car. Yep. Good to know. He joked. Man, this feels like one of those cheesy teenage movies or something. Alright, so I think I'll head to the motel and grab some grub. I said, hopping off the table. He pushed himself out from underneath the car and snagged his shirt from the floor. Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, Tan? Thanks. He said, with genuine gratitude in his voice. Dude, no worries, and thanks for the breakfast earlier. Nah, it's cool, chula. He stopped short, his face changing. Now he was blushing, cheeks turning pink. What did you just call me? Hey, nothing. Just, go get some food already. Fine. You're not gonna tell me, huh? I grabbed my phone and started poking around Google. Chula. Huh. Oh. I see. I froze, then looked up at him. Leo looked like he wanted to melt into the floor. I teased, trying to keep things cool. Damn, didn't think that it was possible for him to get any redder. So you think that I'm hot? Gotta buy me dinner first. Hey, I already bought you breakfast. Yeah, but that was breakfast. I countered playfully. He hit a button and the garage door rumbled open. He was practically pushing me out. Hey! I protested, but he was still grinning. See you later, Tanner. If you stick around, I won't be able to fix your car. Sure, and that is my fault, huh? I asked, but it was already too late. He was enjoying this way too much. His tail was wagging. Good boy. I teased back, patting his cheek. I swear if his tail wagged any faster, he would take off. See ya, Leo. I winked back and straight out of the shop, his gaze burning a hole in my back. Wolves. On my way back to the hotel, I started hearing footsteps behind me. I tried to ignore it, but a familiar voice stopped me cold.
Hey there. Nice to see you again.
Cynthia, the waitress from the diner. She was wearing a different outfit this time. I turned around, forcing a smile. Oh, hey there, Cynthia, right?
Yep, you got it. So where you headed?
Just gonna grab some food and head to the hotel for a shower. I shoved my hands in my pockets, noticing her strange smile and nervous demeanor.
I see. Look, I was just finishing up at the diner. Tell you what, why don't I whip you up something to eat?
Her offer made me pause. It was convenient, a little too convenient. Did she follow me after leaving Leo's shop? Sure, that sounds good. I was gonna order something anyway.
Awesome. It's on the house. A welcome to town special.
You're too kind, but sure. We walked back to the diner in silence. Something was off about her. I was new to town after all. Was she Leo's girlfriend?
So, Leo, huh?
What about him?
Charming guy, isn't he?
Her question made me uncomfortable. She clearly had a crush on him, especially with how she acted at the diner. Was she testing me? Yeah, he can be. Why do you ask? Now she seemed flustered. Great. What did I get myself into?
Oh, Hal, he plays hard to get. You'd seen him blush, huh?
Sure. This feels like you're trying to mess with me. Are you?
What? No, silly, not at all.
We reached the diner, and she unlocked the double doors. The silence was eerie without the usual music. She closed the door behind us, flipping the sign to closed. For a second, I thought that you were upset. Leo's just fixing my car, by the way. She hummed and gestured towards the kitchen, which I hesitantly followed. The whole situation felt weird, and my trust was an all-time low. We entered the partially cleaned kitchen, only a few dirty dishes and utensils remaining.
You guys are fun to tease.
Cynthia said, putting on her apron.
But Leo's actually gay.
She started washing dishes as I finally processed her words. Relief washed over me. Oh, so you just wanted a reaction, huh? Nice one. After finishing her prep, she grabbed a big knife from the sink. I froze as she turned around, a twisted smile on her face, and that made me take a few steps back.
How do you like your sausages?
She sang in a creepy voice. My heart hammered in my chest. Then she bursts out laughing, tears forming in her eyes.
Ah, your face. Priceless.
Damn it, Cynthia. Are you trying to give me a heart attack?
Sorry, hon. Just had to scare you a little.
Shaking, I sat down on a nearby chair and forced a smile. Cynthia grinned. Holy crap. That was good, though. You could be a horror movie killer with those acting skills.
Why, thank you. From sweet waitress to deranged murderer. Speaking of horror...
She opened the fridge and grabbed the sausages.
The real reason that I wanted to talk to you was because I overheard you and Leo talking about Echo earlier.
Oh boy, here we go. Huh. Okay.
So, I have a friend who's making a horror game. He's a programmer. All that tech stuff, you know? Nerds.
Oh, cool.
Right? He's cute too. He needs help with ideas, but I'm not exactly a creative genius. Then you walk in with Leo, talking about Echo.
Oh no. Please don't. Okay, so, what does this have to do with us?
Alright, hear me out. I was thinking that maybe we could all go together. My friend Diego could take some pictures and videos for inspiration. He's a sweetheart. I promise that he won't be a bother. Plus, I'll be there to keep him company.
This is a bad idea. Leo's already on the fence about me going. And now I show up with 2 more people? Ugh. I'm not sure. Leo isn't exactly thrilled about the whole Echo thing. But, I could ask him.
Perfect. Look, I know that it's a lot to ask, but trust me, we won't ruin your vacation. How about this? I invite Diego over and you guys can chat while I cook.
Okay. But no promises. I don't know how Leo will feel about you 2 tagging along, but I wouldn't mind meeting your friend. I settled into a booth. The kitchen's smell was pretty good. Cynthia is a great cook for sure. Still feels weird though. I hope that I didn't mess up with Leo earlier. He's probably fine. I pulled out my phone to kill time on Twitter. A knock on the window made me look up. Diego probably. But before I could get up, Cynthia was already headed for the door.
Hey there, cutie.
She hugged him and Diego smiled awkwardly, patting her back. He was a beagle. Adorable.
Come on in. Meet the new guy.
You're so weird, Cynthia. Hey.
You two chill. I'll get drinks.
She always like this? Diego sat down and put his backpack on the table. You have no idea. She's something, huh? So I heard you're making a horror game. She told you? Yeah, I am. Kinda crazy, right? But I need inspiration. There's nothing scary around here. I see. Cynthia mentioned Echo, right? Yeah, we talked. I thought about asking if you'd let us tag along for pics, you know, for ideas. I groaned. Leo's gonna kill me. Hey, no pressure if you can't. It's not that. Leo might not like the idea. He's driving me. Oh, makes sense. We won't bug you about it. This could go south. You might be mad or worse, not drive me. Great. So, what kind of game? I'm glad you asked. It's a cosmic horror game. Cool, you think going to Echo will help with some ideas? Maybe. Sorry for yelling, but yeah. I need ideas. That creepy place might be perfect. Yeah, I'm going for videos and pics, and if Leo's okay with the whole thing, you can come along. Sweet. We won't get in your way, man. Cool. Thanks. Cynthia came back with my food, smiling. She'd heard us.
Here you go, Han. So you'll talk to the meathead about us coming along?
I'll try, but no promises, okay?
No sweat. Whatever happens is fine.
Alright. Thanks for the food. Smells amazing.
No problem, sweetheart.
Leo was definitely affecting me in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. Past relationships had been tough, and losing friends hadn't helped. Now I was scared of opening up again. Trust issues were a real thing, and I only had a few people that I counted on. So why was I so worried about this guy hating me? Get a grip. Tomorrow, I'd be going to Echo with him, a place shrouded in mystery. People seem hesitant to talk about it, Leo especially. He got lost in thought when he mentioned it, rubbing his wrist. Something about his ex had really messed him up. I felt sorry for him. He seemed lost and unsure, but I could be wrong. After lunch, I decided to explore Peyton. It was a pretty cool town. I saw the diner again, and it would look like a college or high school. Back home, I never had the money for college. Some friends said that it didn't matter, but I doubted that, seeing how they turned out. Not that I'm jealous, but I wish that I could have done more. It was around 4 when I got back to the hotel. I checked my phone before charging it. My friend texted me asking if I'd arrived. I told him about the car trouble. He was kind of upset, but didn't push it. Fighting wouldn't help, right? I apologized to him and told him the car was getting fixed. He calmed down after that. I sat on the bed wondering what Echo would be like. The ceiling fan spinning slowly. Suddenly I felt really tired. My eyes felt heavy and I drifted off. Thrashing, muffled noises. Water? I was drowning? My arms were heavy. Something was choking me. I couldn't breathe. Not again. This was a nightmare. I opened my eyes. The water was dark and murky, like something was stirring up mud. I saw something moving, swimming up. An otter? A voice spoke, but I was underwater. I needed to wake up. You don't belong here. You're different. Red eyes appeared and I could breathe. When I blinked, but it was pitch black. This wasn't normal. My head throbbed. Was I walking? My hands searched for a way out. A light. Anything. The walls felt wet. The smell was horrible. Blood. Something rotten. You can't fix it. It's a cycle. A whisper said. My fur stood on end. I couldn't walk. It's a cycle. A voice screamed. I jolted awake, panting. I was drenched in sweat. What the? My head was pounding. What was that dream? It felt so real. Was I in a cave? What did that voice mean? A cycle? I checked my backpack. After taking something for my headache, I stripped and showered. My body ached, like I ran a marathon. My head still felt numb. Fuck. I dried off, looking into the mirror. I saw something that wasn't me. White fur and red eyes, staring back at me. I jumped back, slipping and hitting the wall behind me. I blinked. What the fuck? I grabbed the sink and pulled myself after, looking at the mirror again. Nothing. Just me. Okay, I'm seeing things. Great. This heat is getting to me. I finished and went back towards the bed, feeling drained. Why am I so tired? Fucking nightmares. After the bathroom ordeal, I didn't feel like doing anything. I just laid there naked, watching YouTube. It was already dark out. My phone buzzed. Leo was texting. Hey, good news. Your car will be done in 2 days. Just gotta wait for parts. Cool, that's great, thanks. So, what are you up to? I'm just watching YouTube, and you? Just showered, doing nothing. Want pizza? Tempting, but I didn't want to go out. I still felt like crap. Nah, I'm not sure, Leo. Thanks, though. I replied. He took a while to respond. I could come over if you want. Gotta discuss payment anyway, and I'll bring the pizza. Having Leo in my hotel room. Okay, cool. I'll tell them that you're coming. He said that he'd be right over. I decided to get out of bed and get dressed. A tank top and shorts. Good enough. I lay back down waiting for Leo to arrive. For some reason, it felt like this was going to be a long night. I can't believe that I'm actually cool with this guy. Seriously, this is so unlike me. I'm usually a total ice block, but here I am, inviting a stranger into my hotel room. In the bathroom, I looked at myself in the mirror like, who was that person? Did I see a ghost or something? Yeah, alright. There was a knock on the door. It's Leo. Dude's got pizza and beer. Hope this is enough. He went overboard, but yeah, it'll do. Come in. He drops the pizza on the desk near my phone charger. Dude looks good and smells nice too. You're really organized, he says, plopping on my bed. There's only one chair and my backpack's on it. Nah, just gotta keep this place clean, you know. Don't want to get kicked out. Where do I put these? He asked, and I pointed to the mini fridge. He went over and filled it up with beer. Did anything cool after you left? He asks, and I turn on the TV. His tail's wagging. He looks stoked. Truth is, I didn't want to talk about Cynthia and Diego wanting to come with us just yet. Just wanted to chill with him for a bit before dumping that on him. Nah, just walked around, napped. Nice. How was it? Hot, dry, needed a beer. I can fix that, he says, sitting next to me. He smiled and passed me a bottle. So you wanted to talk about money? Fixing your car will be like $600, but you're new here, so $500. Not bad, I can do that. Thought you wanted something else, you know. I blew a raspberry at him. His eyes go wide. Whoa now. Anyway, so yeah, 500. Is that cool with you? We shook hands. Dude was kinda nervous. Was he actually shy? It was cute. He seemed like a totally different person. What are we watching? He asks while grabbing a pizza box and putting it between us. I don't know, really. I watch dumb stuff on YouTube, like memes when I'm drunk or high. You smoke weed? Nope, but I like edibles. They last longer. I say, looking at YouTube videos trying to find something for us to watch. You'll be friends with Carl. He's into this stuff too. Got high a few times. It's fun. He says. He grabs a slice and offers me one. We eat. He sounds cool. Yeah, we talk sometimes. He's one of the few who texts me. He licks the sauce off of his muzzle. Watching Leo eat is kind of funny. He's such a messy eater. That's nice. Leo's eyes keep scanning me. I try to chill. It's not illegal, right? I'm not super strong, but I'm in shape. I picked a random funny video. Leo's having fun. He's different today, more lively. His tail wags. He laughs. I laugh. First pizza's gone. Beer? Hell yeah. He grabs another one from the fridge and hands it to me. Fuck, I love beer. He laughs, lays down next to me with a pizza slice in hand, giving me a, is this okay? Look. I just shrugged before we knew the beers were all gone. That went away fast. I said after grabbing the last bottle of beer. He laughed. Yeah, didn't know you drank that much. He said his tail was almost slapping my face. I grabbed it. He gave me a look. What? You wouldn't stop wagging this around. Kinda cute, you know. Let me know that you're having a good time. He blushed and scratched the back of his head. I am. Sorry. I haven't been excited for a while. Thanks for, you know, this. No problem, big guy. Besides, I needed some time out too. I'll order some more beers. You do that. A few hours later, we were both drunk and watching funny videos. The 2 boxes of pizza were empty and Leo was laying down next to me. It was a lot closer now and I could smell him. Tanner, I'm too drunk to go home, he said, trying his best not to show how drunk he was. I can see that, I replied, watching him closely. He was too drunk to drive. Fuck me. You can stay if you want. He turned to face me, his red eyes staring into mine. They were so damn beautiful. What? Your eyes. They're beautiful. Thanks. Your eyes look pretty too. My heart was pounding against my chest from how close he was. Thanks. There was something on the back of my mind saying that I should kiss him. But should I? What if... He was leaning forward and I didn't move back, and our lips touched, and soon we were kissing. He broke the kiss and sat down on the bed holding his head. Sorry about that. Fuck. He said quietly, sounding upset. Leo, it's fine. It's just like, I don't know how to control myself sometimes. He said while looking down at my hands wrapped around his body. He leaned back against me, relaxing his body after letting out a sigh. I'm afraid of hurting people again. So am I said while holding him. We stayed like that for a while. Time didn't seem to pass at all. We just enjoyed each other's company at the moment. I looked down at him and he lifted his muzzle up, staring at me with those red eyes. Thanks for today. And fixing my car. I know it's your job, but... you know. It's okay, pendejo. We were staring at each other for a long time, longing for something, waiting. Leo? Huh? You can't really see it, but it says, kiss him or let it happen. Regardless of what you choose, it's gonna happen. But are you gonna willingly do it, or are you just gonna let it happen? I'm gonna let it happen. We both leaned forward and kissed each other, his tongue sliding into my mouth. Took you long enough, I said quietly after breaking the kiss. Pendejo. He replied, huffing a little and licking my neck. Lobo de merda. I pulled him closer now. We were both drunk and, for the lack of a better word, touch-starved. He was feeling every inch of my body, sniffing my neck, and playing with my ears, his crotch pressed against mine, and he was a lot bigger than me, and I could feel it, making me huff. Fuck, Leo. Are you sure about this? He asked, looking down at me. Leo was excited, sure, but there was something behind those red eyes. Fear. He was nervous, scared. It's just sex, Leo. Nothing more. You want it, and I want it. So we're just strangers having a good time, yeah? I placed my hand on his cheek, slowly sliding it to the back of his head, pulling him down, kissing him deeply. When my back hit the bed, I could feel him pressing up against me, the warmth of his breath, the firmness of his hands when they gripped my waist, the way those soft eyes drank in my vulnerable position beneath them. There were no words, only the mutual and instinctual urge to press further. My hands found themselves tracing the sides of his head, combing through the fur until my digits found the base of his ears. When I felt Leo's muzzle part from my parted lips, my eyes fluttered open to reveal the slightly panting mechanic hovering above me. His forearms pressed into the pillows, causing the headboard to creak. Those murky red eyes stared into me with such hunger and longing, like he was picking me apart with his gaze, bit by bit. The corners of my mouth pulled into an enamored grin, which only grew wider. Last chance to back out, now. Leo began removing his clothes, and I laughed warmly at his little threat, the coyness in my tone unwavering as I leaned up to whisper into his ear. My tongue dragging across the exposed and vulnerable opening along his neck, causing the meaty tool to throb excitedly against me. Leo vocalized his thoughts on the matter with a low growl. It was enough to make the fur on the back of my neck stand on end. He slowly moved down and lifted my shirt a little, gazing up at me while leaving a trail of kisses along my abdomen. He started to pull my shorts down. I had to admit, I was a little nervous. When he finally finished, I felt him reach my stiffening length. His tongue slowly peaked to drag from the base to the tip in one long lick. Merda. That was gonna bruise in the morning. I'll be lucky to even reach the front. Or tomorrow. I thought as darkness closed in on the corners of my vision, I felt Leo sway behind me. The beers finally taking their toll, it would seem. Both of us collapsed into one another on our sides, with his arms seemingly trapping me in the beauty of the afterglow. His chest felt softer than any pillow I could ever hope to fall asleep on. I nuzzled back against him with a satisfied sigh, one that was reciprocated with an equally fond rumble. I yawned and grabbed my phone. It was about 4:55. Damn. When the screen of my phone turned black, I saw it again for a split second. That face, the white furred and red eyes staring back at me, smiling. I blinked and rubbed my eyes, but there was nothing there. Behind me, Leo was already snoring softly. Maybe sleep wasn't a bad idea. I slowly opened my eyes and looked around. Leo was holding me still, his muzzle pressed against my cheek. I had to admit, this felt nice. I grabbed his arms and held it gently, looking at the palm of his hand. I noticed the calluses. He must have worked on that stupid car all day. Stupid wolf. He groaned a bit and moved, his morning wood poking me a little. Leo, I said quietly, and he yawned, stretching his body. Finally, he noticed that he was naked. Oh, he said, looking over at me. Ah, shit. I smiled at him, and he blushed, putting his hand over his head. Tanner, chingada madre. He started to speak, but I blocked his mouth with my hand, and he turned to face me. Hey, like I told you last night, just for fun. Besides, you were great, by the way. I said while letting go of his muzzle. It was a lot of fun. Glad you liked it, pendejo. So you still wanna get up or need help with that? I pointed at his tent, and he thought for a moment. I can't walk outside with that now, can I? After I dealt with his tent problems, we finally got out of bed. He took a shower and got dressed, and I did the same after he was done. When I was getting dressed, he said while drying his head with my towel. I meant what I said last night. I really needed that, Tanner. I haven't felt that great in a long time. He crossed his arms while watching me get dressed. Don't worry too much about it. Oh God, was he hard again? He noticed me looking and adjusted himself down there. You still want to go there, don't you? I simply gave him a nod. Going to Echo was my goal from the beginning, and now I'm wondering how I'll tell him about more people wanting to go as well. Okay, I know I said that I wasn't gonna tag along, but... He looked embarrassed and scratched the back of his neck. Leo, if this is because we just had sex, and now you feel like you have to worry about me, I'll kick your ass. I said, giving him a serious look, and he stared back at me, shocked. What? No, it's not that. Mierda, look. Well, maybe a little. I just don't want you to stay there by yourself. I'm coming. Besides, there's something that I gotta do. I should have done it a long time ago. He looks down, rubbing his left wrist. I let out a sigh and walk over to him, pinning him against the wall, and he stared back at me, confused. Fine, but hear me out. I know exactly what's going on through that skull of yours. You don't owe me anything, got it? I can take care of myself. He closed his eyes and let out a breath. I grabbed his bulge hard, and he smirked, his tail wagging. You got it, Chula. Stop calling me that. I let go of his crotch and sat on the bed. Alright, here goes nothing. So... there's something that we need to talk about before we go. Hopefully you won't freak out. He raised an eyebrow and sat down next to me on the bed. He was expecting me to continue, so I did. Cynthia took me to dinner after I left your shop yesterday. We talked about a few things, and she asked a favor for a friend of hers. Go on. She and a guy named Diego want to come with us to see Echo. He growled, closed his eyes, rubbing his face in frustration. Ugh, ¿por qué carajos nadie me escucha? Jodido infierno. Leo, I know it's a bad idea, but that's why I'm asking you. Tanner, fuck, why do they want to go to Echo anyway? From what they told me, Diego is making a game and needs some pictures and stuff for inspiration or something. Cynthia just wants to tag along to keep him company. Leo rubbed his temples for a moment, as if thinking about what to say. I can't blame him either. It's a big ask. First, it was just me and him. And now, well, it just turned into a... This isn't a camping trip, and that means more people to worry about. You can just say no. It's not that. Just never mind. Alright, we'll drive by the diner, and you can tell her about it. So you're okay to go? It's really hard to say no with that face of yours. Fuck you, Leo. After cleaning up the room we left, Leo seemed less awkward on the drive to the diner, and we chatted and joked about how silly it was to drive all the way here without checking the car's water gauge. It felt good being around him. Here we are again. As I opened the door to leave, I noticed Leo wasn't following. Aren't you coming? Nah, you go ahead. I'll wait for you. Just tell her to be ready in 2 hours. Alright, don't be lonely without me. Go on and get. He said, shaking his head. I smiled at him and headed inside the diner. There were a few people eating, but they quickly went back to their meals. I saw Cynthia behind the counter. Hey there, how you doing?
Oh, hey, you look happy. So what brings you here?
It's about the talk we had yesterday. She blinked in surprise and finished stacking some cups.
Right, I remember. So what did he say? I'm sure that he wouldn't be too thrilled about us going with you guys.
He wasn't at first, but he changed his mind. I had to convince him a little.
Ah, I see. So you guys are planning to go today?
Yeah, Leo's waiting for me outside. He said that he'll be back in 2 hours to pick you guys up.
Nice. My shift ends in about an hour, so that's perfect. I'll let Diego know too. You're such a sweetheart. Thanks for this.
Oh great, now she's making me blush. Ah, shucks. It's nothing. So I'll get going. See you in 2 hours.
We'll be waiting.
I stepped outside the diner and leaned against the car window, watching Leo. He turned his head to face me, looking a little bored. Well? They'll be ready soon. What's with that face? Did I make you wait too long? Leo sighed and looked at his phone for a moment. He seemed a bit annoyed about something, so I got into the car and closed the door, waiting for him to say something. Is everything okay? Yeah, just Dad's not happy about me closing the shop for a few days to drive your ass to Echo. We talked for a bit, but this is kind of important to me too. I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble, man. You're good, Tanner. Don't worry. It's just family stuff, you know? Anyway, let's get going. Alright. Leo's place was a small apartment in a 4-story building at the end of town. The building itself looked okay and well kept. We stopped at his door and he unlocked it. Before opening it, he gave me a concerned look. Don't mind the mess. I haven't had time to clean it up yet. I shrugged. Besides, it wasn't my business to tell Leo how to live his life. He rolled his eyes and opened the door. Inside wasn't so bad. A few dirty dishes, some dirty clothes packed in a corner near what looked like the bathroom. I've seen worse. Trust me. I said while standing in his living room. You go on and get whatever you need. He nodded and went to one of his rooms to pack his stuff. As for me, I looked at his decorations on the wall. American football and soccer posters and what appeared to be some other type of musicians. There were also pictures of what could be his family. That's a lot, I thought to myself. While looking through his pictures, one caught my attention. A younger Leo in the middle of a group of other people. A feline, a ram, a lizard of sorts. An otter, no two, but one of them looked familiar. There was also a fennec fox. Leo came back out and dropped a duffel bag with a few things on the floor. Okay, I think that's everything, he said while adjusting what looked like a gun holster on his belt. I didn't say anything. Instead, I watched while he reached for something on the top of the refrigerator. It looked like a gun case, a small one at that. He opened it and looked at me. I raised an eyebrow. What? He didn't reply. Instead, he just pulled a gun out of the case and checked to see if it was loaded. Oh, nice. Is that a Glock? Yeah, why? His tone indicated something. He clearly was expecting me to say something. Oh, nothing. I mean, protection is nice. You know, my knife is in my backpack. I crossed my arms and he smiled. For a second, I thought you were gonna freak out or something. Please, Leo, this is America for Christ's sake. I would be surprised if you didn't have one. My friend back in Utah has an assault rifle that was fun to use. I winked at him, and he pushed the safety on and put the gun on his holster. Right. This is just in case something happens. I don't use it unless I have to. Sure, that's cool. Besides, maybe we can shoot some stuff when we get there. Could be fun. Alright, we can go to the convenience store and buy some food. I looked back at the photo again, wondering why that otter looked so damn familiar. Wait a second. It can't be right. If you don't mind me asking, who's the otter in the photo? He checked out the direction that I was looking in and rubbed the back of his head. Oh, that's Chase. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was no way that's Chase Hunter, the guy who wrote the Echo article, and Leo knew him? What's with that face? Chase Hunter? I read his article, and we even chatted on the phone before I came to the States. We met up in Pueblo, had a great conversation over coffee. It's nuts that you know him. Leo looked like he had some weight on his shoulders. He crossed his arms and sighed. You talked to him lately? There was a hint of sadness in Leo's eyes, and then it hit me. Chase might be the ex that he'd been talking about back at the shop. No, not really. He seemed alright, you know. We had a good chat and he was cool with me asking questions. Why? Haven't seen him in a while, that's all. Were you guys close? Leo nodded his head, closing his eyes briefly. We were. He was my ex. It was a while ago and it didn't exactly end well. I observed Leo's pensive expression and decided to not press him any further. Instead, I settled onto his couch and leaned back, noting that we still had about an hour left. Leo looked exhausted, almost defeated. Chase Hunter. He was rather unremarkable. Just a typical boring guy with a bit of a jerkish attitude. He answered my questions that day, but did so with a condescending laugh, calling me stupid for even considering going to Echo. I replayed our conversation in my mind. What an ass. 2 days ago. Took forever to get to Pueblo. No clue where this place even was. Driving in the US is way different. But thankfully GPS saved the day. Crazy to think that I came all this way for an interview. The guy wasn't too excited at first, but after a couple of days of talking, he finally agreed. And here I am. Man, he's taking forever. At least the coffee's good. The meeting was at a cool coffee shop downtown. I sat outside and watching people walk by. It's always interesting to see how different people are in other places. You must be Tanner. The voice snapped me out of my thoughts. I hadn't even noticed the otter standing next to me, giving me an awkward smile. Oh, yeah, sorry. You must be, Chase, right? Yeah, mind if I sit? Be my guest. Chase was wearing a blue shirt and shorts. Looked pretty tired. The coffee here is always good. Hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's pretty good. You come here often? Sometimes. I just like to come to write and stuff. He leaned back and put a hand on his cheek. You really came a long way. Still, crazy if you ask me, though not sure if it's worth it. Yeah, wasn't really that difficult. My friend lives a few hours away from here. That's cool. So, should I start? I don't know. You're the one who wanted the interview. Don't expect me to answer anything, though. The last thing that I want is to remember that place. No, don't worry. I won't ask personal questions. Just tell me anything about it. Chase sighed and reached for his own coffee. It's a lot to unpack, but all I can say is that it was a nightmare. Yeah, from the thing that you wrote, it felt like it. Things just got weirder when people started seeing things, you know? That place somehow messes with your head. Still does sometimes, and I'm not even there anymore. Man, this guy is definitely traumatized. I would be too after what happened, if what he wrote was true, of course. Seeing things? Yeah, things that might have been real or might not have been. I don't know what it was, but that town, that freaking place, it'll drive you crazy. And here's a question for you. Why the hell did you come all this way to see that town? There's nothing there anymore. The people just left. You read my post about it. Everything there is true. Some people think that I exaggerated, but it's true. All of it. Well, I'm always fascinated by the places like this. Ghost stories and old towns, making videos about it is my life's work. I like doing what I do. I smiled at him, but he laughed a little. That made me raise an eyebrow. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. But hey. He took a sip from his coffee before continuing. I wouldn't recommend going there. But then again, it's not my place to tell you what to do. Yeah, right. How did you get out? We used a train. Luckily for me, it was going slow, so I just hopped in. We? Huh. Chase rubbed his face and shook his head. He let out a long sigh while looking away. A couple of friends were there with me. We made it out okay. Some of us, I guess. Some? He nodded and stared down at his coffee. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, alright? And again, you're crazy for going there. You should go home. He pulled out his phone and started texting. I'm not scared. Besides, I'm already spending a lot of money on this trip. You're wasting money, seriously. I try to convince you. Anyway, thanks for talking though. I usually don't do this, but hey, if you do come back alive, give me a call. He stood up and tapped my shoulder. Good luck. It was nice meeting you, Tanner. The moment that he touched me, the fur on my neck stood up. My whole body felt weird. I stood up and watched him leave with his hands in his pockets. He stopped on the sidewalk and a car stopped nearby. The window rolled down, revealing a raccoon. It looked pretty cute. Then Chase got inside and left. I watched the car turn the corner and disappear. Thanks for nothing, I guess. Damn. I gotta drive my ass towards Peyton. This is gonna be a long drive. Today. With Leo's gear packed, we hopped back into the car and headed straight to the store that he mentioned. Afterwards, we stopped at the diner to pick up Cynthia and Diego. Leo wasn't too thrilled about them joining, but there was no turning back now. As Leo loaded their bags into the trunk, he couldn't help but ask. He tried his best to sound casual. That's all you guys are bringing?
Yeah, we're packing light.
Alright, get in. We've got a long road ahead. Diego and Cynthia piled into the car, and we were off towards Echo. I couldn't contain my excitement. This is great, I said, munching on a bag of chips. After years of planning, I was finally going there. Leo wasn't as enthusiastic. You know that there's nothing there but abandoned houses and maybe a drug den or two.
Yeah, right. And Peyton isn't exactly the safest place, you know that, Leo.
Oh please, where I come from there's plenty of those. That's why you have a gun, counting on you to keep us safe.
Y'all bring a gun?
Yeah, Echo wasn't the safest place before. Now could be a lot worse. I offered him a chip and he leaned over and took it, making Cynthia smirk. Diego was just on his phone minding his own business. Is he okay?
Oh yeah, don't mind him. He's scared driving or being in a car, so he just puts his earbuds on. He's fine.
She nudged him and he pulled his headphones off. Oh, shoot. Sorry I zoned out. What's up? I'm just checking on you. I'm okay. I'm just nervous. I'll be alright. Right. I get sick. Sorry. It's all good. Don't worry. Leo nodded and sighed. His ears folded back. He leaned against his seat while driving. Leo, we'll be fine. Okay? He just nodded again, glancing at the side mirror. I could tell that he wasn't completely comfortable with the whole thing, but he seemed determined to do this for some reason. What else did you bring besides your knife? I rubbed my chin thoughtfully. For starters, my camera. Batteries, a small solar panel, my phone, a small video camera, and condoms. I looked over at him and noticed his embarrassed smirk. He looked at the bag of chips and I gave him some more. He was like a hungry animal. He even licked my fingers once and laughed.
Now that's just wrong.
Ew, Leo. I dropped my soda and some of it spilled on my lap, wetting my shorts. Shit, sorry. Damn it. Is there anything that I can use to clean this? Check the glove compartment. I did and found a bottle of lube and some paper towels. I slowly looked back at him and he stared at me. What? Nothing. After cleaning up the spill, I began to feel tired and let out a yawn. How far is it? About an hour or more. The roads here are getting worse, so I have to go slow. You can sleep in Neho. He turned on the music player, putting on some relaxing tunes. The guitar helps soothe the car sounds and the occasional bumps. Yeah, I might as well. Cynthia and Diego were on their phones. I leaned against the window watching the outside. There was a beauty to the desert that I loved. So peaceful. You came back. I know you would. After all, they always come back. You're only moving in circle. No, not this time. So yeah, we have another end of the chapter outro video. Again, I don't know if this is copyrighted music, so if it's there, it's there. If it's not, then I had to change it. So, despite the fact that he said chula twice, I'm actually surprised that he hasn't said the other word that he's known for, which is puchica, which when translated means darn. So when he would say puchica otter, he would say darn otter. So just so you know, you could say puchica again. Anyways, well, they did the deed, Tanner and Leo, and it was definitely very Leo, meaning that them when they were doing it was very Leo, not like that they did it. So I have a theory about that actually. While Tanner may or may not have wanted to do it, or wanted to do it, I have a feeling that he wasn't the only one that was behind the wheel at that moment, sort of egging Tanner on to do it. Why? Because obviously we are seeing Echo Sam, meaning the echo that was made when Samuel died, and technically Echo, but also the smoke room. So, like, just a little refresher for Echo, the smoke room, and Arch's lore. When a person dies in Echo, they don't become a ghost, they become an echo. And that is established lore, just so you know. And what that means is that they could technically pass as a ghost, but they are not really. They are just another manifestation of the land, what is in the land that causes all these weird little things to happen. And all the ghosts that are technically inhabiting I want to say land, because it's not really the buildings, it's the land. It's the ground that you're standing on as soon as you step within the borders of Echo. So all the ghosts, all the monsters, all the weird little happenings, the tulpa chase, all those things are being caused by what is in underground in the land, I guess. They're all supposed to be tools for this thing in order to feed. So even the spider monster from the smoke room is not really a real thing. It is just another tool that the land, for lack of a better word, is using in order to feed. Tulpa Chase was another tool to feed, and it was a tool to sort of instigate the hysteria from that we see in Echo. Even the characters themselves, Leo, Brian, Clifford's descendant, I forgot his name, Clint, and everyone that is basically that starts acting weird and whatnot, it becomes a tool for the land to use in order to do its thing, in order to feed off of them, and etc., etc. But yeah. So yeah. I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah. So what was it? Where was I going with this? Darn you, ADHD brain. I forgot where I was going with this. One thing to note, which I already sort of mentioned before in the previous video, technically speaking, there really isn't that much left in Echo. So like, they probably would just find some dilapidated buildings, like it's just like the frame that's left over, and like the motel. Technically speaking, Clint doesn't live in an Echo anymore after what happened, and regardless of which timeline you're picking from, either the one where Cameron lives or Cameron dies, Clint doesn't live in Echo either. And I mean, obviously this is a fan game, so he could just say like, you know what, I'm gonna go back. But yeah, like, Echo is sort of not even on the map anymore. It's not serviced either, the roads are not serviced. It is essentially what you would think of as a ghost town. But yeah, I'm curious to see what Tanner, the developer, the creator of this visual novel, has in store for the town that we all know and love. But also Leo, because as crazy as we know, well, I say crazy, but like as unstable as Leo can become, I am wondering if this perhaps, if the reason why he's wanting to go, or not so much wanting to, but is willing to go back, is because he wants to sort of maybe let go of the past himself. But yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see. He does look really hot in this picture, am I right? Like, come on. It doesn't help that, like, how he looks. But anyways, yeah. What else? I never said that I wasn't a Leo simp, just so you guys know. I really wish that Echo and Poprin had made a Leo plush, because come on, that would have sold out. I also wish that they would have made a Devin and Cameron plush and sold them together and had like little magnets on the hand. That would have been like, oh my god. Come on, Echo and Popford. Anyways. What else can we talk about? I am curious to see what's going to happen to Cynthia and Diego, because it isn't just going to be Tanner and Leo that are going to be affected by, stepping foot in the town. It's going to be them too. So I wonder what sort of baggage that they're going to come along with, or just in general how the echo phenomenon is going to affect them. But yeah. What else? What else can I say? I guess not much else. So yeah, write down in the comments what you think and what you think is going to happen to these people. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Cycles yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download the game. Again, I still don't know if they have any form of support. I haven't asked because it keeps slipping my mind. It always does. As soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to completely forget that I was supposed to ask. But yeah, if they have any form of support or whatever, I will link that down as well. They do have a Discord in case you want to discuss the story. Tanner is active on there. I am also on there, but I'm more of a lurker than anything. But I do pop in from time to time and read what you guys are writing about. I do read what you say, Tanner. But yeah, anyways. So also, in case you want to become a channel member and help support the channel, you can do so by going down to the other link, which, in case you don't already see it, in case I suppose you're on mobile, become a channel member, support the channel. It does help support me. Or, you want to support me through Ko-fi, that's cool too. Also, what's his face? Throne, in case, you don't have to, but like, it's there. Wink, wink. Anyways, but yeah, so again, if you reach this part of the video, like I mentioned before, if you guys would be interested in me reading the other fan Echo story that revolves around Sydney surviving, or I guess being alive, I could do that too. I would be really willing to do that because I really like that story, and there's like more new stuff, which, I kind of want to read. But yeah, so if you guys would be into that, then, write it down in the comments and say like, hey, that story sounds interesting. Read it. It isn't a visual novel though, but so like, it'll be like I was doing with the other stories where you're just seeing the text on the screen and then, I'm reading it. But anyway, so yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.